Welcome to New England, one of the country's hardest places to hunt mature white-tailed deer. From the vast forests of Maine and seacoast monsters to the suburban ghosts of Massachusetts, New England is a challenge unlike any other. This year I've made it a goal of mine to harvest a deer in at least 3 of these northern states. Enjoy watching as we take on these elusive animals that captivate our every thought and leave us with this deep ingrained passion inside our blood. This is the New England Slam.
That's 180, 190 pounds right there all day.
I just got the biggest buck in my life.
That is sweet. Oh, he's been rubbing.
Yeah.
Matt. Oh my god. I just killed daggers.
Want me to haul him for you?
You, brother.
Attaboy, get your exercise.
For the New England Slam, I'm starting my journey in the great state of Maine, a place with a unique culture and history of hunting. From seacoast monsters traveling from island to island, to also 200 to 300 pound deer found in the big woods close to the Canadian border. With challenges from logging to weather conditions, it is very unpredictable to harvest these mature bucks in the big woods of Maine. Alrighty guys, I'm super excited. Finally leaving for Maine. This is my first time ever hunting in Maine. My buddy is going to be helping me out. So I'm going to be driving down there 3.5 hours, or driving up there 3.5 hours, and then I'm going to be hopping on a ferry with my car, which is crazy, to an island, and then from that island I'm going to drive to his house, and then go hunting probably behind his house, and then the other spots we're probably going to canoe out to some islands for some bigger deer. So we're going to see what happens, but I'm super pumped and we'll bring you along for the whole journey. As always, before I go hunting or leave the house, like for a long trip, I usually say a prayer. So just take a second to think about that when you are leaving, just to try to have Heavenly Father's guidance with you when you're going on a journey like this. Alrighty, let's do it. We're about an hour out from the location, getting pretty pumped, starting to get the juice flowing. I'm not hunting till tomorrow, but man, am I excited. Island bucks, hurricane coming. It's gonna be freaking sick. Alright guys, we just got to the ferry. It's kind of sketchy, not gonna lie, but I'm excited. The hurricane's not going to be here for a while, but yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm going to be bow hunting almost suburbs on an island, which is a very unique situation. I don't know if there's anywhere else in the country you can bow hunt on an island in the suburbs. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm excited. Alrighty guys, we're on the ferry. I'm all for being off grid and like being in the middle of nowhere. This is kind of another level of like weird, because you can't be sufficient. There's nowhere to get your food unless you were to like have cows out here, which would be interesting. It's just like if something goes wrong, you're kind of stuck on the island unless you have a boat. So it's kind of weird. It's a different environment. It's kind of cool as well that there's just deer. I just spent probably 30 minutes talking to the guy that's letting me stay at his house, and Dan is like such a nice guy. Everybody's nice, everybody's like waving to me when you're driving. There's deer, like I haven't seen one yet because it's not around sunset, but he said there's deer everywhere. And he said at some points it's like 50 to 60 per square mile, which is crazy. And there's no predators, there's no bears, there's no coyotes, no anything. But it's only miles offshore, so I'm sure deer go back and forth between the mainland or different islands. But yeah, it's kind of cool. One thing to note is it's all posted. So unless you know someone, luckily I do, good luck. There's no way you're hunting any of these places because they're all nature preserves that you need an in. So luckily my buddy has permission of those places that he can get me on. And I know people, but besides that, it's almost all posted. So it's kind of interesting. If you come to this island, be prepared to do this the whole time. every 5 minutes, every person. How's it going?
Well, you know what would be nice? An early birthday present? What's that?
Do you mind if you're in it?
No. Go ahead.
Jeez. Before I went back to my tent, we exchanged deer stories and knowledge, and Dan made me dinner before I went to my tent. What a guy.
Time just sticking out. And I got like 30 yards away, and I was like, Taylor.
Alrighty guys, I'm sleeping on my Adidas bag and in this tent. I'm excited to get up in the morning to go for the hunt. But honestly, I'm gonna have zero expectations. If a deer comes out, I'll be happy, but if not, it's not the end of the world. We have a bunch of rain coming, so hopefully it holds off one of these nights. See ya. When I got up in the stand, the buck happened to be bedded 15 feet away, 25 feet away. So that was my luck. So we'll see if he comes back, but it seemed like a wide 8-pointer. But that's just how it goes. He didn't smell me, he just saw me up for obvious reasons. But I'll get back to you when someone comes in. It's like 7 o'clock. Haven't seen anything since the buck jumped up when I got in my stand. Really tired. Got no sleep. My back's killing me. And I look like a scrub, as my mom would say. With no luck in that spot, I decided to drive around to see new country of the island, to try to find a new spot to hunt. In doing that, I got a shot at this tiny 6-point, but decided not to take it. Guys, I'm really disappointed in myself. Like, I don't know why I feel this way. I don't know if it's because I forgot my medication for my ADHD or what, but I don't know. Like, you have so much excitement building to the hunting season, and for some reason, I don't know if it's lack of food or water or being on an island or what, but I just have no motivation right now. and it sucks. A big part of it, probably 90%, is my back pain. I suffer from chronic back pain and I've had issues since 2017 with it. And it just eats me up. Because sitting, standing, anything hurts all the time. Never stops. If anything, it only gets worse. And like sitting, driving all the way up here just destroyed it. But I don't want to let anyone down or myself down by wasting 8 hours of gas round trip to just leave after 1 or 2 sits. So I don't know what to do.
Please go down. Please. Please go down, buddy. Please go down. Please. I don't know where I hit him.
If you watch closely, you can see the exit right behind his shoulder. Oh my gosh, he's hanging out. There's no way he survives that. There's no way. While this is going on, I'm starting to panic, hearing horror stories about deer surviving crazy injuries. I start to call some of my professional hunter buddies and some other friends, asking for advice on what to do. Part of the reason I started to panic was most of the deer, except for one that I've shot, have all died within sight with a bow. I'm not used to seeing this part of the story unfold. One of my great mentors, Larry Rankin, explained to me, this is what happens when they're out of sight. It's a normal thing, it's just his time to pass. He'll be a dead deer. Hearing him and Jake Bennett telling me he'll be a dead deer still made me excited, but I also knew I didn't want to get my hopes up. While I was on the phone, they told me to look to see if his head was still up high while he bedded down. Unfortunately, it was, so I started to worry. Just shot the biggest buck of my life and he's right there. I don't know if he's dead though because he's scaring me because his head's still up and he's bedded. But he's a monster. I'm not gonna get excited until I find out. But I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. I try to get another arrow in him, but it's too far. He's just bedded there. He's just a giant 10-point. And I don't know what to do. I have a buck bedded. I just shot him. He's a monster. He's a 9 or a 10-point, I'm pretty sure. Giant G2s, huge brow tines, big long beans. I don't know if he's dead, but he's bedded and his head's down. But it's been up and down, up and down. He tried to get up, he fell back down. I already got my crying out of the way, but I'm just trying to kill a 6-pointer there. I just shot a freaking monster. One of the biggest bucks of my life. After waiting 2 hours tirelessly, I went and found my arrow. There was some bubbles in the area on the arrow, but it rained so hard that night that it looked all muddy, so we decided to wait the night.
Oh man, that makes me it's such a relief. I did not get like any sleep. Oh
I
man.
hope that's him and not a rocker. I'm gonna look like an idiot.
Let's go check it out.
I'm in freaking like sneakers that took up all my scent logs.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, yeah, he's been for a while.
Yeah. No, then he went down right after you, yeah, dude. Yes. Yes. But he went down right after, wait, you heard him, basically. Oh, yeah, dude, he's wide. I bet. Yeah, dude. We got it. Oh, hell of a deer, man.
Oh, he smells so bad.
I bet. I thought I could smell him right when we got to the bed up there.
That's right, exactly where I thought it hit him.
Yeah, that's not a bad shot. Just like a hair back, but yes. Yes.
That is a New England monarch right there.
There you go, dude.
He is not the craziest buck in the world, but
Dude,
by far one of the coolest.
heck of a buck.
He reeks. He's got this cool point.
Oh, look at that.
Acorny point.
That's cool.
He's almost like bladed right here,
Yeah.
which is sweet.
Yeah, cool how it sweeps up at the ends.
Oh my gosh, he looked 100 times bigger. I don't care.
They always do.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
These white socks.
Oh, that's so cool. Look at that.
Yeah, both of them. Little piebald feet.
That's awesome. We'll get photos once we drag them.
Yeah. Nice job, man. Good high five.
Thanks, dude.
Default, so I'll put my camera there. At times, if there's a looking branch or something that
We got it, boys! Probably can't even see because it's so dark in the car. We're gonna go recover him right now, and then we'll take some videos and photos once we get there. Sorry, buddy. Alrighty. There he is.
Yeah.
Beautiful buck. He's got like these little piebald feet, which is super cool. And I'm just could not be more happy. He's got a really cool rack. First island buck. First buck in Maine ever. How many times did I switch stands yesterday?
Three. Yeah. I think you thought about a fourth.
Yeah. I was moved around. I was worried because I hit him well, but then he stopped at like 15 yards, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to fling another one at like 45 through brush. And of course I didn't hit him. And then he ran off, sat down, bedded, tried to get up, bedded again. And then when we didn't find him at that first bed, I was like, oh no. And then he ended up being about 30 yards.
Yeah. Yeah. 30, 40.
30, 40 yards from where the first bed was. He's got like a cool point right here. He's got cool character everywhere. He's got this little extra point right there. Just a beautiful buck. Couldn't ask for anything more or a better friend. Like,
Yeah.
Funny
Awesome
enough,
deer.
I'm like Ross from Just Hunt Club. I'm allergic to deer.
Oh no.
So I try not to touch
To
the
touch
hair as
them?
much as I can. Which is ironic for someone that thinks about hunting every single 5 seconds. But yeah, that's a beautiful buck. He's just got a red forehead, like, you can tell he's been rubbing off his velvet recently. And kind of a really chocolate rack we were talking about, which is really cool. I was not expecting that. But yeah, we'll get some photos and we'll get him out of here.
Yeah, and see those feet. Nice, man.
Crazy.
And on like a rain day like that, it's hard.
Yeah, he's wide.
Yeah. Wide, super symmetrical. Yeah, this one has the widest, maybe has the tallest tines. Yeah, beautiful buck.
Yeah, he's a fatty. Look at those feet. It's so cool. Awesome. Alright, let's get him in the bed.
Alright.
Get her done. You want to do it?
Like, well,
Yeah, that'll happen.
it'll happen. Yeah, there you go. No, I've almost called him up to be like, hey, are these under warranty? Because
Can I actually have you
Get up in there?
Wait my back and then I'll lift it back in?
Yeah, man, a number of times I've been in this truck on myself.
Look at the straps. It's hard. Just manhandling it. Well, that was insane. I'm soaking wet, but I'm just beyond anything grateful. Like, he didn't need to help me come out. I've never been helped with any of my hunting. Like, nobody's ever given me really anything to, maybe a couple hints at like spots, but most of it I've found on my own scouting and different things. So I'm just super blessed that someone would open up the opportunity for me to be able to come out to one of these Maine islands and just kill a freaking great buck. And the crazy thing is he's like part piebald, kind of like his feet and stuff, so which is super cool. And he's got like 2 extra points on his rack and just crab claw beams. Ugh, he's just, I couldn't have wished for anything more. Growing up in New Hampshire, like, not even hunting, to get a buck like that is just a buck of a lifetime for me. I know there was a buck that's about 30 inches bigger that's out here on the surrounding islands that my buddy's hunting, but I don't care. Like, I couldn't be more grateful in the world. Figured I'd sit down and tell you guys kind of what happened. So he came in exactly where I wanted him to, and then I was getting bitten alive, so I sprayed bug spray, which is like the number one thing I shouldn't have done. So he's definitely smelled that. My scent lock was fine, and it kept me good, but he didn't go into the opening I wanted him to. So he walked up the wrong way through the brush, and I had 1 shot, so I was like, meh, and I was almost sitting. I was like slanting under the trees to get a shot off, and I thumped him. He ran about 15 yards and stopped, and I was like, he looked surprised, but his tail was down, so I'm pretty sure I hit him. And then he started to pant, and I'm like, well, he's not going down, so I tried to put another arrow in him. He ran 40 yards, bedded down after wobbling like this. He was panting heavy, and then ended up going down, and then he tried to get up again, and then he fell back down. And while I'm videoing him, you'll see like stuff hanging out of him, like that's either guts or lung or something. So after opening him up, I did hit lung, clipped 1 lung, hit liver, and then part of the guts at the bottom came out. But not like the paunch or anything. It wasn't far back enough for any of that. The entry was perfect. maybe a little bit to the left and closer to the shoulder would have been better, but it turned out great, and he fell down, and then we found him about 20 yards from that bed, and he must have collapsed because he didn't like fold up his legs or anything. But what a wild journey it's been, and he's probably 120 inches or so and 150 pounds, so I'm more than blessed to have him down and be able to have back straps because I'm really hungry and I'm sick of chicken nuggets and dumb store-bought food. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining on the journey, and I'm sorry I didn't get the shot on film. It was either kill the buck or try to get it on film, and the headspace I was in, I didn't care. And it was raining, and I didn't want to use my nice camera that I just bought and waste hundreds of dollars and then get it wet. So, thank you guys so much, and I hope you all have a successful season. So that was my setup for the hunting trip. I parked in front of my buddy's house and set up this tent, and it worked out, and the buck's right there. So, super exciting hunt. What a beautiful buck. Could not be more happy. Alrighty, so the tent is gone. Got everything in here. It's kind of a mess. I got my bow, I got my scent lock containers in there, and then I have a tarp laid out in the trunk. Hopefully this buck fits. If he doesn't, I don't know what the fetch I'm gonna do. Open the trunk. It's filled to the brim, but that's the tarp. And close the door. See you guys. Alrighty guys, heading back. Got all of our crap. The deer fit. Thank goodness. Had to like fold them in half. But just super pumped that I could get a deer, and big thanks to Dan for helping me out and me come hunting on the island and letting me sleep in his like little lot of land. Man, that was crazy. I'm excited. I'm gonna go bring him to the check station right now. On the mainland, and then get some food, some grub, because I haven't eaten breakfast since 11 o'clock, and then head home. Alrighty, 15 minutes from home. I'm exhausted, and this deer probably is so hot back in the trunk, but we'll figure it out. I just don't want any of the meat to go bad, so I'll probably stop and get some ice and fill it in the cooler, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
The weary traveler has returned. Yeah.
We're lining the cooler with trash bags so we don't totally ruin it. Oh, baby, look at him.
The guy when I brought it to the check station's like, "Oh,